Clarksville's new Get Fit headquarters. Trifecta Fitness is a state-of-the-art spin and strength training studio. Our spin studio is truly one of a kind in this area, complete with 20 state-of-the-art live fitness bikes and an incredible sound system. Our strength training is done in small groups of 6 or fewer, and all of our strength and spin classes are scalable for every level of experience. Come see us in the heart of Clarksville, just behind MAPCO at the corner of Old Trenton Road and Wilma Rudolph Boulevard. Call us for more info at 931-542-6265 or download our Trifecta Fitness app for a full list of upcoming classes.
In October 2019, Arlington, Texas was chosen to be the home of a new national museum, unlike any other. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a unique home of military history. The 100,000 square foot museum will house exhibits, archives, and artifacts relating to the 3,500 U.S. troops who have been awarded the medal, the nation's highest honor for valor in combat. The museum will have 31,000 square feet of galleries dedicated to U.S. troops who have received the award. The museum CEO, former Navy SEAL and NASA astronaut Chris Cassidy, said the museum will focus on education as much as preservation. The building will have 5 areas dedicated to Medal of Honor winners from the Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard. The main gallery will be located in a central plaza under a 25,000 square foot slab of steel, which will appear to be suspended in midair. It will be supported by 5 pillars. Black Rifle Coffee is a corporate sponsor of the museum, as are the Dallas Cowboys. The museum's board also includes over a dozen major corporations and 6 Medal of Honor recipients, including David Bellavia, Patrick Brady, and Britt Slabinski. Army Staff Sergeant Bellavia was awarded the medal for clearing an entire house by himself on November 10, 2004, as a squad leader in support of Operation Phantom Fury in Fallujah, Iraq. He killed 4 enemy fighters and wounded a 5th in close quarters battle. Army Major General Brady flew and coordinated the evacuation of 51 seriously wounded men during a firefight in Vietnam in January 1968. Slabinski, a Navy SEAL chief and team leader, led a rescue team of SEALs during Operation Anaconda in Afghanistan in March 2002. Slabinski and his team flew to a mountaintop ambush site to rescue Petty Officer First Class Neil Roberts, who had fallen from the back of a helicopter. Slabinski led the team through almost constant combat against an entrenched Taliban force. Along with the board members, former presidents Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Barack Obama serve as honorary directors. The museum is expected to open to the public in late 2024.
All right. Welcome back.
Misfit Nation. The Misfit Nation Show.
We are a show founded by a veteran and hosted by 2 veterans and a military spouse. Our mission is to get people to tell their stories to the world. If you're an author, share your tips with the Misfit Nation. If you're a musician or an actor, our audience needs to know how they too can get into the business. Coaches, we love our coaches. Come on and share your tips with the Misfit Nation to help them become better versions of themselves. If you are a corporate leader or an entrepreneur, come on and show how you did it and how hard you have fought for success. If you are a veteran, first responder, or Gold Star family, we would love to have you come on and share your story with the Misfit Nation. We always have time for you. If you're feeling down, alone, or starting to see the darkness, stop. Think about those who are around you. You are not alone. You will be missed. If you feel like your problems will be a burden to those in your inner circle or feel embarrassed, dial 988. If you are a veteran, take option 1. We need you to keep pushing forward. Don't make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. If you are a new listener, welcome to the Misfit Nation Show. Be sure to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast app. Also on our YouTube channel at @the_Misfit Nation. Subscribe and click the bell to keep you up to date on our latest episodes and all of our news. You can also find us on Heroes Media Group and About Face Radio. Now, let's get to the show!
All right. It's Tuesday. You know what day that means. It means it's Cagney. It's Lacey. They're here to interview a great man, a Marine once, always a Marine, now the CEO of Tech for Troops. So without further ado, let's bring in Khaki Lacey, Steve, and Jake!
Hey, thank you for that great introduction, Mr. The Nation. Good evening, Stephen.
Good evening, Jake. How are you?
I am good. I have actually had supper, so
So you're like full of energy.
yes. And it was my evening to cook. So, and daughter-in-law and 2 grandkids are here, so we had pizza. It was gas station pizza, but it was good pizza.
Gas station pizza. That's like 7-Eleven pizza. That's really not that bad. Okay.
Actually, it's Casey's Pizza, but yeah, I mean, it's really, really good. Tell you what, sometime when you're down here, if you've not had one, we'll get a pie together. How's that sound?
That sounds terrific.
Yeah. Hey, before we get started, I want to plug a couple. This last week, I had the opportunity to meet a guy named Carl. And for all you out there listening in Facebook land, go to Warriors in Motion. It's a bunch of gearheads and car enthusiasts that build race cars and let veterans drive them in 24-hour races. It's pretty amazing. Went to Carl's shop, was blown away. The guy's a genius. And on that same note, there's a guy on the West Coast. His name is Daryl Hornbeck, that has After Action Racing, and basically does the same thing on the West Coast. These guys are great, and all their cars are built with either their own money or sponsor money. And if you're a veteran, you want to drive a race car, you show up to the track, they'll put you in a car, and it's good stuff. So, are we ready for
further ado?
Are we ready for our do what?
I said, without further ado.
Without further ado, let's have our guest on here.
Let's bring in Mark. Good evening, Mark.
Mark, that.
Hoorah!
Hoorah! That's right. Great crayons. I know. Love every second of it. Everybody's just jealous of not being a Marine if you're not a Marine. So
we don't need to talk slow or anything so you can follow us. Okay.
Today.
I'm just checking, man.
Yep. No, I had my gas station chicken fingers, so I'm all right.
Awesome. Hey, and for everybody, most everybody that listens is veterans. Yes, when we have veterans other than Army on here, there's a little bit of banter, but hey, we all wear green, one team, one fight. We're all brothers and sisters. We love everybody.
Amen to that.
So, Mark, Tech for Troops. I did a little bit of reading about it, and I like it.
Thank you.
I like what you're doing.
Thank you.
Why don't you explain it to us?
There's a lot to explain. First things first, I just want to say thank all of you out there who have heard of Tech for Troops and support us. And those of you who are hearing about us for the first time, look us up, go to our webpage, go to our YouTube, all those social media accounts, that are out there. Take a look and let us know. Just reach out and let us know you like us. So what do? We actually, all of us who got out, I would say the majority of us, and I say that in a beautiful way because, like generals and colonels and master sergeants and such may not have had such a hard time as lower enlisted, mid enlisted. So sergeants, staff sergeants on down, and then of course majors on down. For me, myself, when I got out of the Marine Corps in '87, I thought I had the tiger by the tail. And, most of us do because we know a lot. We understand. We think we understand the civilian world when we really don't. We don't understand at all about it. So the vets who get out that we support, we call them under-resourced vets. They're not poverty vets. They're not homeless vets. They're all sorts of vets. And we get technology from corporations and individuals, and we refurbish them. And then we provide that training and the technology itself, the computer, to that vet so they can take it home and apply for jobs, attend school, stay in touch with their buddies via Facebook or whatever kind of social media it is. Then telehealth, huge, especially
Yes.
after COVID. Right. I mean, the VA, at least in Richmond, shut down. You weren't going in the door for anything almost. Had to be like major surgery, and that was it. So I'm going to go off secondhand information, third-hand information. A lot of vets were impacted and hurt by that because they couldn't get the treatment that they needed. And if you didn't have a computer to log into that telehealth with your psychologist, psychiatrist, or even just your PA, then you may have had more health issues than what you expected at the time that COVID was going on. So we do that for veterans, right? It's a passion project. It's something that we absolutely 100% love doing on a daily basis. So when you get down to it, there are 4 different programs. With our base of our program is data destruction. So Steve and Jake, if you guys are like, hey, I have a laptop sitting in my closet, I want to send it to Tech for Troops, I would tell you, hey, go on our webpage, look for Give Back Box. It's a about $20 or $25 UPS label that you can put on about a 25-pound box. Ship us all your stuff. And then when we get that laptop, depending upon the hard drive itself, or if it's a newer type of laptop or hard drive, SSD, NVMe, N.2, or whatever they're all called, there's all sorts of acronyms nowadays. We'll keep that and wipe it to NIST standards, NIST standards, DoD standards is really what it comes down to. And then if it's a platter drive, so if it spins, then we'll just take it and shred it, because nobody wants a platter drive. They're too slow today. And they've probably been used for years and years anyway, so they have thousands of hours on them. So there's total data destruction in what we do. And then that allows us to bring that next level of service to the veterans, because they get a stronger, faster computer from Tech for Troops, as well as American Legions and VFWs and DAVs and other veteran service organizations. They contact us for computers as well, and we'll ship them computers. There's a fee. All right. We can't do everything for free. I wish we could. I wish we had that sugar daddy or sugar mama that would give us, $100 million to let us do what we need to do, and then we wouldn't have to worry about that. But we don't have that at this moment. But we're looking. Look at my smile.
Hey, and I tell you what, we've already got a question.
All right.
What about an old Mac 24-inch standalone?
So in what way? I would say that is O'Neill 34 dime. So we would accept those. We would tear it apart and probably put it out for parts and pieces, depending upon how old it is. And what we would do is take out that hard drive, put it in a hard drive shredder, which turns into teeny tiny pieces. Actually, if it's a laptop hard drive, it goes into dust. If it's a desktop hard drive, it's just tiny pieces about yay big. So both ways, the data's gone, and then we would recycle that Mac 24-inch standalone, so it doesn't go in the landfill. So out of the 4 programs, I've hit one: data destruction. The education piece we do as well, right? So I don't want vets today getting a computer, and this is how it started. I had a vet come into my office to get a computer, and this was in 2017, early 2017, and quite literally the hair on the back of my neck was standing up, and I'm like, something's wrong here. And I just looked at him and said, turn it on. And he didn't know how to turn it on. And I looked at his VA handle and I said, hello. And she's, we're going to teach him all that. I said, yeah, okay. So I turned it on. I had the mouse, right? I said, so open up an icon, just get online or something. He didn't know what I was talking about. And I looked at it and I said, why are we giving him a computer? All he's going to do is pawn it off. And so, oh, no. He's great. So at that point, I went to my board and said, look, we're not giving away any more computers until we start a training program. And so we help veterans from our youngest vet we've had in is probably around 29. And she was relatively okay with a computer, but we still taught her a bunch of stuff, all the way up into Korea War veterans, right? So they're in their 80s now. Wow. Somewhere close. And they're still looking to get in touch with their buddies, search for Korea War, movies, whatever, watch John Wayne. It doesn't really make a difference, because at that level, we're giving them a computer just so they can connect. And they're not going to school for it or with it.
Well,
So
Jake's still using dial-up.
Oh, is he? Well,
He's on the first day. Oh, well.
I could make the noise, right? Pew!
Yeah.
Right.
You know what? Hey, Stephen, I was nice to you today, and here you are busting my balls. What's
There
up?
you go. There you go. Hey, Steve, don't laugh at him. I just got internet, so I could do this from home about a month ago. And
Hey. Yeah, a couple months ago they come through here because we had DSL for years, and a couple months ago they had a deal between the power company and the internet company, and they hung fiber up. And yeah, me and the wife looked at it because we stream everything, and it's like, hey, we're getting the 1 gig gamer package.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It works.
Yeah.
So now he uses his rotary phone, and
I got your number, bud.
I know you do.
Yeah,
he's got to learn how to open that flip phone and text.
I was just going to say he's got the old flip phone, right?
Hey.
Oh. So we teach vets how to use computers, and then we also offer veterans 5,000 free classes online, right? Everything from mindfulness to OSHA training to leadership to Microsoft Office to the expert level, Python, right? The coding, we do all of it, right? And the reason why is we want our veterans, as a veteran, and most of my folks who work for me are veterans, we want the vets to have the opportunity to elevate themselves and their families. Far too many vets are going to the under-resourced or the poverty level, and they don't know how to get out of that. And that's a problem in my book. So we're trying to fix that piece when it comes to education and really digital knowledge. And then the next thing that we do is suicide prevention, veteran suicide prevention. We all know the numbers, right? Between 17 and 22 commit suicide a day. When COVID was going on, it was around 40, which I wish the world had known about that, but we were so focused on the kids. Nothing wrong with focusing on kids, don't get me wrong. But when you lose 40 men and women a day to suicide, there's a problem. There's a bigger problem what anybody's talking about.
That's a platoon.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Well, in the Marine Corps, that's like 3 platoons, right? So 13-ish, because we can still do more than the Army can with one anyways, right? And we also do it with World War II rifles. I mean, come on. We only get the junk. Little baling wire and gum, and we're good to go.
Okay.
But my program master, he's the game master. That's his job, is to play video games. And we started Discord and Twitch, and we've saved 12 lives in 16 months that we know of. We've impacted probably hundreds of others, but we know we saved 12 lives. It's a soft handoff. He's playing video games, and Steve or Jake, you guys are like, F this. I hate this life. I haven't done anything, and whatever. And they're like, hey, let's go talk privately. And they take him offline, talk to him privately or her, and say, all right, look it, bro, you're not in a good spot. We want to see you tomorrow. Can we hand you off to 988, which is a national suicide hotline? And then they do a soft handoff, and then we follow up later, and we continue to follow up. And one of the last guys, I wouldn't say we saved his life, but we definitely impacted him. He was a vet living in a basement type of situation, hadn't showered in like 2 weeks, hated his life. And my guys, my streamers just sort of got in and just massaged him, talked to him and say, hey, it's okay. We got your back. And he came back with a note later and said, I went and took a shower after we talked. I cleaned up my room and I'm ready to start something here. So let's make it happen. And that's soul satisfying, right? Hopefully we saved another life.
Yes.
Getting them on the way. So go ahead.
I'd like to think with, some of the stuff that we talk about on this show, if we reach one person, it's worth it.
It's absolutely worth it. That sounds trite, and we've heard it our whole lives. But at the same time, when you're talking about somebody's life who's going to impact all of those around you, plus the others, like such as myself, I'll go on LinkedIn and I see the post of, Marine veteran committed suicide, Army vet committed suicide, pray for his family. And I'm like, what? It tears at your heart and your soul. And it's just like, what the heck, man? Just reach out, just somebody, let us know, because it's okay.
We have a thing around here as well. we have a veterans cemetery, a national veterans cemetery, the Western Kentucky Cemetery here. And there's a lot of veterans around here, that older veterans that pass away with no family.
Oh, yeah.
And so they'll announce, hey, so-and-so served from this time to this time. And there's times there'll be 300-400 people.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Show up for this funeral. And that's just one of the things that
it's beautiful.
And right there, I know it's a funeral, but a lot of those people that go to them are vets as well.
Right.
And you get to reach out, meet new people, and touch some lives, and have some lives touch you. It's amazing.
Agree with that. Yeah. Absolutely agree with that. Yeah. So that's sort of two of the three, right? So the data destruction, the education, bullpen person online, the aiming for zero, and then we also recycle, right? So I'm not a tree hugger, but I do love the earth, right? I want clean air. I want clean water. I want the deer to animal to play. So when we need our meat, we have clean meat, right? That's really what it comes down to. So we take their recycling, or the e-waste that we receive, and we keep it out of the landfill. We don't send it to China. We don't send it to Canada. We don't send it to any place that's the kids or the young adults are going to stand in hazardous waste and die within a year because of the hazardous chemicals that are leaching through their feet up into their bodies, which is real. If you've ever gone and looked at videos of kids in Africa or Asia doing that kind of thing, it truly is like, oh my God, how did they live like that? But you also understand why. They're getting the gold and the copper and the silver out of the e-waste, and they're burning it right there at their feet. So they're stiffing the fumes, and that is going right into the rivers, which goes into the ocean, which comes over here to us, right? So the world has got to be a better place. And like I said, I'm not a tree hugger, but I still want to save the earth to the best of our ability. Mm-hmm. And so we've kept over 800 tons out of the landfill in the last 10 years. Now,
where does that go?
It goes to, for us right now, it goes to R2 certified organization or company in Chicago. And we just shipped out another 26 pallets today up to Chicago to keep it out. And my guess, it's somewhere between 15 and 20,000 pounds. So 7.5 to 10 tons just went out today. And we're probably at 40 tons, maybe 50 tons so far this year.
Okay.
And we still have almost half a year to go, 5 months to go.
And they just store it, or?
Oh, no, they recycle it, right? So they smelt it down, they shred it. Depends on what it is. So like RAM. So RAM has a lot of gold and silver and titanium and rare metals in it, right? Stuff that people want. And they'll send that to a smelter and get paid a whole lot more than what I'm getting paid. But RAM today is, last I saw, $27 a pound, and it's about 15 sticks for a pound. So if you send out 100 pounds at $27, I mean, that's $2,700 that's in Tech4True's pocket.
Okay.
So that's what we do.
I did not know that computer recycling was that big of money.
Big money, right? But you got to have the volume coming in to make it really worth it for us. I would guess this year we're going to have probably maybe $50,000 to $60,000 total is what we're going to get, which isn't much, because the recycling company is going to get a lot more than us, because they're selling it to the smelters that are going to get the gold and silver and that kind of stuff out of it. We don't get that, but I would love to know a smelter to be able to ship that to. Mm-hmm. And I know they want volume as well. They want like tractor trailer full of just RAM.
Yeah, they don't want little boxes.
No. So it'll probably never happen to the level we're at, but it might. Who knows? One day.
It just might.
Might.
As far as stuff that you take, I know you said laptop, desktops. Now, tablets and you'll take all of it.
We take all electronics. So there's a couple of things we take, but it's with a fee. And the reason why is it's hazardous material in it, or like a CRT monitor. You remember the big boxy monitors that we had on our desk and took up 3/4 of the desk, and it weighed 70 pounds. We take those, but there's hazardous materials in it. So we have to pay to get rid of those. I don't mind taking them as long as somebody says, I'll pay to take it. And a lot of folks do. Printers are the same way. A lot of folks will have like that little desk jet printer they put up in their attic 12 years ago, and like, oh, it's worked when I put it away. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but it has hazardous material in it, i.e. the ink.
Yes.
Pardon y'all. And so we have to pay to get rid of that kind of stuff, but we accept everything else: laptops, desktop servers, router switches, stereos, cell phones, flip phones. I have a museum at work that is just the uber cool. Oldest piece is the 1926 dictaphone, so a recording device from 1926. And one of my newer pieces is a TTY machine, which is how deaf people communicated when we had Mickey Mouse ears, right? And we had the handheld phones. And that's our first texting machine. So it was over the wire, though. So everything in between, from reel to reel to a 1943 frequency modulator from the Army. Still have the frequently mod book. Oh, you name it. Apple gear, Dell gear, HP gear, Lenovo gear, all original, all old. Just really cool stuff.
Okay.
So we take everything. If you want to ask me, hey, Mark, what's the weirdest thing you've ever received?
Go ahead.
Mark,
What's
what was the weirdest thing you ever received?
Great. I was hoping you would ask that question.
There you go.
We got a call in from an organization and said, hey, do you want some body bags? And I was like, I did exactly that, Stephen. Like, what? I said, what are they? What kind are they? So they sent me the specs on them, and I looked them up, and they're $2,000 each. And I said, well, how many are there? And they said, well, there's 100 of them. And mine went $200,000. I can put that in my pocket because I'm not going to do anything with a body bag, right? Mm-hmm. Well, nobody wants them. So, but they're hazmat Ebola type, right? When you zip this up, when you're in that, there's no air getting in, there's no air getting out. So we're looking for somebody to buy those off our hands and give us a fair price for them, right? It doesn't need to be $2,000 a pop. I'll take 500 a piece just to get them out of my warehouse.
Facebook market, man.
I don't know if I want to deal with those shady folks on that for body bags.
I almost knew. Come on out.
I'm almost knew. Yeah. Don't open it up.
When I was a young soldier, I happened across a body bag. I found it in a Connex or something. And I thought that was a cool way to waterproof my sleeping bag. And so the whole time I was at Fort Carson, I slept in a body bag inside my sleeping bag and stayed toasty warm.
I bet you did. I bet you're lucky you didn't get thrown on the back of the deuce and a half and taken to the dump.
Yes.
Yeah, so we get in all sorts of stuff, and we love seeing it. I have a picture from one of my interns. We call them screwdrivers. Some folks like to just tear apart stuff, and that's all they want to do. And I'm good with that because it helps us with our recycling. And she sent me a picture of a desktop with a massive mouse nest in it. And we sure, we'll take whatever you got. Doesn't really make a difference to me what you're doing. So we do all of that stuff.
I got a question here. You said that your site is awesome with different approaches going on. Do you have a favorite side of Tech for Troops? And how was the luau?
I do have a favorite side, and I probably shouldn't say that out loud because we do have the 4 programs, and I don't want anybody to think I'm going to choose one over the other. My favorite, honestly, is the suicide prevention program. Seeing or hearing the stories, because I don't game. I very rarely get on and do anything. But hearing the stories of the men and women that we're impacting is truly, absolutely, positively amazing. And knowing that this man or woman is living another day because of what Tech for Troops has done is mind-blowing and humbling, right? That's a heavy weight because we're always stretching and we're always looking and we're always pushing to do more and more and more. And one of the really cool things that happened with that program is we got in with a international computer company, and they gave us a ton of not brand new, but pretty close to brand new gaming rigs. So we're able to, and we're looking to support vets that are in mental health institutions, right?
Okay.
Because if you're in a mental health institution and all you have is your phone, most people don't read today. So you have your phone and a TV and you're bored to tears. But if we could put a gaming rig in front of you and you can play whatever, right? No combat stuff because you're in an institution. Placid Plastic Duck, which is one of the most favorite games out there for our streamers. It's literally a simulated pool and it's just water floating, right? You see that. And then a plastic yellow ducky or a green ducky or a black ducky, it doesn't make a difference what color, plops into the water and just floats. And that's all it does. Placid Plastic Duck. And we have 70 to 100 people watching that for hours at a time. Because
are they all Marines too?
Yes, we all are. You dog. You dog. Yep. That was good. That was very good.
Watch the duck balance.
Yeah. Watch the duck balance. And we tell you to go eat your crayon. You go eat your crayon. But it's one of those things that people just relate to because we are so bombarded in our world today with everything using our phone and our computers, and everything's coming at us in 30-second sound bites. To watch something for just weeks or hours and just meditate on that and just let your mind go blank, it helps. So in doing all of that, it's really good to know that there are people out there that are being impacted by what we do in such a positive way, whether it's the suicide prevention or the education, because we've had vets come back. I had an Army combat medic from Vietnam come back. I was actually teaching class on a Saturday, and I had, 10, 12 vets in the class, and my outside door slammed, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, all right, who the heck's coming in late, 15 minutes late? What? Come on, man, I'm kicking you out. I'm not letting you in the door. And I met him about halfway down the hallway, and I looked at him. I said, what are you doing? Come on, man. And he said, I'm here to give back. And he held up a Tech for Troops computer. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, I got one from you 3 years ago. And I said, stop. Stand in front of class and tell everybody what happened with this computer. And I literally was crying when he was done. He's like, I'm an Army combat medic in Vietnam. I was down on my luck. I got a computer from Tech for Troops. I applied for a job. I'm making it now. I'm actually doing something with my life, which I never thought I was going to be able to do. And just kept going on. And I'm just streaming. And at the end, I'm like, this is what it's about, y'all. You take this computer and use it for yourself for good, not just. I'm always to every class. I'm like, look, everybody knows what Rocket Welch looks like. Don't look, right? You don't need to. You're going to get a virus, and then you come in, and I'm going to get you. I'm going to call you out in front of everybody like a drill instructor will. Trust me, I will do that. And so some of them who do come in, my folks don't let me know that they're coming in. Truthfully, they don't, because I will dress them down. It's not used for that. It's used for good, and you should be elevating yourself and your kids and your grandkids and everything else. So it really is satisfying to watch that happen and to see vets who are elevating themselves and making it and coming back and helping. Anyways, and then the other part, the luau. So it was our 10th anniversary birthday party on Saturday, this past Saturday. It was a threat of rain. We had classic cars, which I think we had about 6 show up. But, if I have a 67 Mustang that I lovingly restored, I wouldn't bring it out in the rain either.
No.
But we had probably 250 folks show up. We had pig, Mission barbecue, Kona ice. So, the sweet stuff for the kids. We had the bouncy house and face painter and all that kind of stuff, and everybody just loved it. It was actually a really, really good time, and having about 250 Richmonders show up meant the world to us, because it really did say that people do enjoy what we do and support us, even though sometimes it doesn't feel like it.
That's amazing. Around here, stuff like that, we like to call that stacking victories. You see that going across the bottom of the screen right now. Yep. Be better than you was yesterday, and keep stacking those victories up, and pretty soon, you'll work your way to the top.
You bet. And that's what we do. Every day we come in, and it's just one more piece of the puzzle that has to go in to make something happen. And all of my folks know this. Some of them are there for the long haul. They want to be there till they retire, and others are there and so they get a paycheck to go out and do something better for themselves. I'm good both ways, because I just want you to be honest with me. Don't tell me you want to be there forever, then roll. I don't like that. Tell me the truth. I'm a big boy, right? I'm 60 years old this year. I can handle it. So let me know what you want to do, and I'll help you achieve your goals. Because that's what my goal is, to help you achieve your goals, not for me, but for you.
Yes. Yes. I don't know. So many in society today want to come down on people. I get joy in watching people succeed.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely agree with that.
I'm always gonna cheer somebody on.
I have, and I'm very blessed and lucky in this regard, is that I've never been jealous of somebody who's successful, right? The Elon Musk, the Warren Buffetts, the Bill Gates, whether you love them or hate them, it doesn't really make a difference. They succeeded and they did something that somebody else didn't do. And it goes for all the other small business owners out there that are doing something and they're making it, right? They're struggling today, but they were making it, and they're doing something because others are afraid to start. And I didn't found Tech4Troops. I took it over in October 2016. And at the time we had 750 square feet, and now we're over 8,000 square feet. And we honestly have to buy a building because we have outgrown our space to the nth degree. We are moving things around and stacking things on top of things. We're Jenga going, right? Just continuously, because we get so much stuff, but we have to buy a building one of these days, soon, very soon.
And that's a great problem to have, isn't it?
It's a very stressful problem to have, but yes, it is a great problem to have, because that means we're being supported and we can do more for the veteran brothers and sisters out there.
A1A on Signal, he says this is a great program. How do you donate, or how do local people get involved?
A1A, thank you so much. How you can donate, there's two different ways. If you're in the Richmond area, with it, and depending upon how much stuff there is, right? So next Monday, I'm driving to Abingdon, Virginia, which is going to be about a 6-hour drive one way, but I'm getting a box truck full of stuff. So I'm making the drive out there, making a drive back, and that's okay. I'm okay with that, because one, it's my time. I'm not sending any of my folks out expecting them to do this kind of thing. But there's other way of doing it, is that give back box, as I mentioned in the beginning. You go on our webpage under, I think it's under donation tab, and you find give back box, and you can ship us equipment. I'm pretty sure it's 25 pounds for 20 or 25 bucks. I forgot which. And please put your name in there. Please put your name in there, because on the printing label or the shipping label, it doesn't have where it comes from. It's from Alabama Give Back Box, where they started the program. So, and then it goes to Tech4Troops. And when we open it up, I don't know where it came from, and I can't give you a shout out and say thank you. So please put a card in there or something and let us know who it came from. And then if you're in the area, you can either stop by, or if you have enough equipment, we'd be happy to come pick it up, right? So depending upon where you are, there'd be a fee for that gas being the way it is. Our gas is up to $3.59 here locally, and it just seems to be going higher and higher lately. So we have to be able to put gas on our vehicles and pay our folks. So there is a fee if we have to go pick it up. But other than that, right, drop by our door. Had a buddy of mine come in and knocked on the door, rang the bell. I helped him unload the vehicle and sent him on his merry way. It's just what we do and how we do it. And we guarantee the data destruction on that, whether it's shredded or wiped.
Okay. All right. Allison Allison 34 on Instagram says, check out 128 Pecan or the Tavern for chow in Abington when you go there.
Is this a bar, Allison?
Now we'll give her a
Oh,
minute
okay. All right. I mean, I'm happy.
She said combos.
Oh, good. I would be happy to. I'll need to write that down, because I'm gonna be one tired old man that day. 13 hours of driving around.
Hey, always got to have good chow, right?
You got to have good chow when you do that kind of thing.
Amen for good chow.
Well, what other great things are going on?
Well, we have our own eBay store, and that's on our webpage as well. So the stuff
Okay.
that we get in, like stereos and flat screen TVs and so many other things. And you can go on there and look, servers, routers, and switches. And we guarantee the data's gone. So we sell things to help support ourselves. We wholesale some of it. Like we have a supporter who sends us around 1,500 monitors in a truckload about every 3 to 4 weeks. So we take part of those monitors and we give them to school systems. And we've taken kids from 13-inch monitors to 24-inch monitors in the school system, and that's just really cool to feel as well, right? And we don't proclaim that, we don't tout that. It's just something we do for the community, and it's outside our mission. I understand that, but at the same time, why just sell it? Why not help? And we'll sell some of the rest, but we're not going to sell all of it. And to me, there's a difference there. It's let's help the community at large as much as we can, because it's going to come back to us anyways.
Yes. You mentioned eBay. eBay. That's a good place for the body bags too.
We have tried eBay in the body bags. They have not sold. We want them to. Trust me, Steve. We want them to. And then also we have a program for autistic kids, right? Usually young adults. It's not part of our mission, but we get in so much stuff and we recycle so much stuff that we call them screwdrivers, as I mentioned before. And if they're functioning, high enough functioning, we bring them into the warehouse. We monitor them. We make sure they're doing okay and they're not doing anything silly or, getting into trouble. But they tear apart computers for us. And if they get 5 in 3 hours, okay, that's 5 I don't have to worry about. But they actually get out of the house. They get some eye-hand coordination. They get some of that mental acuity because they're concentrating on taking that screw out the right way and not just stripping it. I mean, it is just so awesome. Alex, calling you out, Jake.
Yeah. Hello, Alex. How you doing? And I sure wish I could be up there with you, brother.
Yeah, he looks like he'd be a fun cat there.
All right.
You don't know the half of it.
First thing, Lynn Red, oh no, wants to know where you want Tech for Troops to be in 5 to 10 years.
Great question, Lynn. Part of our strategic plan, so I have some really good folks on my board, some real good heavy hitters, I'll call them that. And our goal is to expand across the nation. One day we will be in Oklahoma. One day we will have 4 locations, if not 6 locations in Texas. And in Florida, there'll be 3 to 4. And in Virginia, we'll have 3. Right now, we just have the 1 location. So short term will be 1 to 2 locations in 5 years. We want to do it the right way. I know a lot of other nonprofits, there's boom, and they go out there and then they have to deal with all the problems. I don't want to deal with problems. Plus, I want to retire one day. So I want to be able to take it out and do it the right way before we allow it to just explode the way and it's exploding. We're doubling growth almost every year. So from the beginning, when I started, quite honestly, we had no money in the bank. We were going to shut down, and that's why I took it over. And then now we are with in-kind donations, which is the computer donations. We're a little over $3 million. So nice. In the last 8 years, we've grown from shutting down to 3 million. And that's a lot of the in-kind donations. Like if I get tractor trailers of monitors and power strips and flat screen TVs, that's $50,000 to $70,000 right there.
Now, couple things here. Got a question, it's an answer to a problem you have.
All right.
JPHC.
Hopefully this is the last one. Wait, hopefully this is the last one. Go ahead,
JPHC09 says, sell the body bags as collapsible coolers. They'll sell like hotcakes.
That is an awesome idea.
We're talking about all these hot things, and here we go. We keep talking about these damn body bags.
You could put your beer and your drinks in that, and nothing's getting out of it. Literally, nothing's getting out of it. And that would be a great Halloween. Awesome.
Then Mr. The Nation would need one for his house.
Yes, very much so. 2,000 for you, Jake. 2,000. I'll make it I'll give you a discount. 1950. Don't break my arm, man. Don't break my arm.
I don't need anything else to store.
I know the feeling.
But I do have a question. Say a school or an after-school program or anything like that, so they can come onto eBay or whatever and purchase monitors for programs they have.
Absolutely. So if they're local being up to 2 hours away, right? So a nice big encircled.
So he just cut New Jersey right off.
I did actually. I mean, but the delivery for say 200 monitors is $125. It just give me gas there and back. It's all I'm asking for, because what we're doing for the kids is a lot more. That's going to make the world a much better place eventually than them staying on a 13-inch monitor. Period.
Right. Yes.
Right. When you get a 24-inch monitor, you can actually see something, and I bet you kids coming out of those schools are bifocals, right? They're at 12th grade by that time. They're in spectacles, like you and me. I'm just not wearing any right now.
Yeah. Well, we didn't have computers at our school when I was a kid, so it was.
Do you still have the rock and chisel? Sorry.
Uphill both ways, Stephen.
That's right. Fighting off pterodactyls too. Fighting off pterodactyls. I mean, it was something else when I was going to school. That's for sure.
Did your best friends in the back room pedaling to keep the lights on?
Yes, absolutely. Gerbils too, right? At night, the little night light was gerbils.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are other things we do that I mean, we're not talking about at this moment because we're in the process of starting a brand new training program it's gonna be amazing for veterans, and I'm looking forward. So the idea is to, especially active duty transitioning, we talked about that a little bit, how hard it is getting them a career 3 to 4 months, 5 months after they get out through training of Tech for Troops and into a job that they can take around the world. And it truly will be a job they can take around the world. So there are things that we're doing along this line because we have to do it. We have to help our brothers and sisters out in that way. My board feels this way. I feel this way. And I don't want to just give a vet a computer, give them a handshake as they walk out the door and say, good luck, buddy. I want to say, no, I have something for you. Let's make it happen. You have to put some time, effort, and energy into it. Do you want to elevate yourself? You do. All right, let's assess you and let's get you to where you can be, because the world is going to be the veteran's oyster. And it's not just going to be as it seems to be today. Yeah, we know you're a veteran. Thank you so much for your service. Hey, you kid, you're 12-year-old. You know how to code or something. You come over here, and the vet gets. No, I don't want that anymore. I want the vet to be number one primary that everybody wants, from ABC company, which is Google, all the way to Amazon, to Meta, to you name it. Everybody should want the best that we have.
Somebody here said that you need to collect with Michael Carmichael at Checkavet.
I would love to. I wish I was like taking notes on this stuff. Checkavet, I've never heard of them.
Well, hey, this will be on YouTube forever.
True. But I have to go back and listen to my own voice.
Yeah, but you get to see us.
Oh, that's true. Hey, I can just block me out and listen to y'all and look for this. That's true. Or I can give folks like the info@techfortroops.org email address, right?
Yes. And our producer said he will send you the link in the email.
Beautiful.
Email.
And for everybody out there, if you haven't looked, it's info at Tech4Troops, TechforTroops.org. And it'll wind this way to me. It might take a day or three. It'll wind this way to me, and I'll respond and look up Carmichael at Checkavet.
All right. Well, hey, Mark, we've been on here. We're fixing to hit about 50 minutes.
Yep.
This has been great. I did not know what to expect from this, but you're doing great things, brother.
I appreciate that. And it's not me. It's a lot of people around me, right? I'm just the head boogeyman. That's all I am. I'm
you surround yourself with great people, right?
True.
That's
No, he wasn't talking about your company. He was referencing the whole Marine thing. He didn't know if you're just going to sit there and lick the screen for an hour. You actually had conversation and you spoke.
Yeah, you did not lick the screen.
It was nothing against what you do and how you're doing it. He thought you were just going to lick the screen with your helmet on. He didn't want you to get hurt for an hour.
I couldn't put the steel pot on. There was no doubt I had one. There was no doubt.
That was the saddest day of my Army life when they made me trade in my steel pot for a Kevlar helmet.
Really?
Yes, I love that thing.
Wow. No, it wasn't my sad day. It was, for me, it was the flak jacket, right? I mean, sure, it was a cheap flak jacket, and it probably didn't stop much of anything, but it was a comfort when you wore it. It was heavy, big, remember, thick.
It was like a security blanket.
It was. It was. It's something else. After 9/11, I'm sure all of us, wanted to do something. I attempted to go back in, but my hearing is so bad, they wouldn't let me back in. And it's just, I would have gone in and taken the place of any one of the kids that went. Any one of those kids, I would have done it.
Gladly.
Yep.
Gladly.
And I've always said, all these nations that want to fight, they're idiots. What they need is the old guys to go fight, because we would stop at 5 to have dinner and say, guys, we're going to go to 7, but then we're going to bed. We'll wake up at 5:30 in the morning because we got to go pee. And then, and then get it on. Then we can start fighting again. By that time, we were like, I'm too tired for this crap. Let's not do this anymore.
Yes. And I take the night shift on guard because I generally get up about 01 to have to make that trip.
Yep.
But, Mark, this has been
I can't wait to get old.
I hear you. Yeah, the alternative, though, is it's not looking good. I'd rather get old.
You know what? Every morning that I wake up looking down at the grass and not up through it is a good morning.
It's a great morning.
It is a great
So
morning.
I say that to every morning. How are you doing? I woke up today.
Yep.
I've got Mrs. Holland here keeping me straight, and that's all I need.
I'm sure she does a good job of that.
She does a damn fine job of it.
She heard you too.
She's sitting in the next room. I am sure she heard me.
She definitely did.
Well, hey, Mark, we're going to back on out of here. I want to remind everybody to like and subscribe. Stephen, any parting words of wisdom for us?
No, it's every time I open my mouth, you get pissed off at me.
No. Well, hey, we're going to close out.
Great chat, Mark.
It was great chat. Hang out in the green room, and we'll be back after we sign off.
Oh, hell. All right, gentlemen. Thank you for that.
This is a message from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Got a question about your VA benefits, healthcare, or eligibility? Go to va.gov, where you can access a new interactive chatbot to ask questions 24/7. One can still browse va.gov for information, but you can now ask specific questions to the chatbot, like what's the PACT Act? How do I apply for disability benefits? What's my claim status? You can access the new feature through va.gov's Contact Us page. Then click on the Start Chat button. The chatbot will continue to improve veterans' access to information about the benefits and services they've earned. This is one way VA is offering seamless and secure access to its online resources.
Thanks for checking us out and being a part of the Misfit Nation show. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com. That's themisfitnation.com. Check out all our past episodes and get some of the great Misfit Nation gear for you and your family. As always, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling because we are
Misfit Nation. Misfit Nation.